In a quiet suburban neighborhood, 14-year-old Alex was buzzing with excitement about his latest school project. He had been given the task to explore technology and its applications, and he decided to use a drone to capture unique aerial footage of their community. With the sun shining brightly overhead, Alex carefully set up his drone in his backyard, double-checking every setting before launching it into the sky. As the drone whirred to life and lifted off, Alex felt a rush of pride and joy. The small device hovered gracefully above him, capturing images and video of the trees and houses below. He couldn't wait to show his classmates what he had created. He envisioned sharing fascinating angles and views that most people overlooked in their daily lives. But little did Alex know, his innocent project would soon unravel into chaos. Just a few houses down, Karen was pruning her flowers when she spotted the drone darting through the air. Her heart raced as fear gripped her mind. She convinced herself that Alex was using the drone to spy on her. As paranoia clouded her judgment, she prepared to take matters into her own hands, unaware of the wild scene that was about to unfold. Karen was known throughout the neighborhood as the overly cautious and nosy neighbor. With her sharp eyes and watchful demeanor, she often prided herself on being the safety monitor of their community. Every time a new family moved in, Karen was the first to welcome them, but her friendly facade quickly faded into suspicion if anything seemed out of the ordinary. She regularly peered through her living room curtains, keeping a close watch on children playing, pets wandering, and even the mailman delivering packages. Karen had a long list of concerns about safety and privacy, always fearing the worst. She would often remind others about the importance of staying vigilant, convinced that her vigilance kept everyone safe from potential dangers. As Alex launched his drone, he had no idea that his innocent project would trigger Karen's anxieties. The moment she spotted the small flying device, her mind raced with possibilities of what it could mean. To her, it represented a breach of privacy and a threat to the peace she believed she had established in the neighborhood. Her suspicious nature would soon lead to a dramatic confrontation that neither Alex nor Karen could have anticipated. The moment had finally arrived for Alex to launch his drone. He stood in his backyard, heart racing with excitement as he adjusted the controls one last time. With the sun shining brightly above, he felt ready to capture the stunning views of his neighborhood from a new perspective. After taking a deep breath, he pressed the takeoff button, and the drone whirred to life. As it lifted off the ground, Alex's face lit up with joy. The drone soared higher and higher, revealing a panoramic view of the vibrant streets filled with colorful houses and blooming gardens. He watched in awe as it hovered above tree branches and glided over rooftops, feeling like a true pilot exploring uncharted skies. The little device became an extension of his imagination, showcasing angles that would amaze his classmates during the upcoming presentation. Alex envisioned all the interesting footage he would gather, the park bustling with children, neighbors chatting over fences, and dogs chasing after frisbees. In his mind, this project was a celebration of community life. However, what began as an innocent adventure was about to spiral into chaos thanks to Karen's anxious eyes watching from afar. As Alex soared his drone high above the neighborhood, Karen was still in her garden, diligently tending to her flower beds. The sun glinted off her gardening tools as she trimmed the vibrant blooms, but her focus shifted when a small object zipped past her line of sight. She squinted and realized it was a drone, hovering and gliding with an almost graceful ease. Her heart raced as a wave of panic washed over her. What is that thing doing, she thought, her imagination running wild. It felt as though the drone were invading her personal space, peering into her yard and prying into her life. As thoughts of unwanted surveillance filled her mind, Karen's suspicions turned to anger. Is someone spying on me? She muttered to herself, feeling a deep sense of violation. Without pausing to gather facts or understand the situation, Karen instinctively hatched a plan to confront this perceived threat. Her righteous indignation blotted out any logical reasoning, leading her to believe she had no choice but to act swiftly and protect her privacy. In her mind, Alex was no longer just a neighbor's son, he was a spy, and she had to put an end to it. Fueled by a mix of fear and anger, Karen stormed towards her shed, her heart pounding in her chest. She had to act quickly to defend her privacy, convinced that the drone was a direct threat. With determination in her eyes, she flung open the shed door and grabbed the nearest tool, her trusty rake. It was not just a gardening tool, to her, it was now a weapon against what she perceived as an invasion. As Karen clutched the rake tightly, thoughts raced through her mind. How dare someone invade her space like this? The more she thought about it, the more justified she felt in her actions. With each step back towards her garden, she imagined herself as a fierce protector of her home, ready to confront the intruder in the sky. Positioning herself strategically, she waited, watching the drone as it danced gracefully above. When it came into range, Karen took a deep breath and swung the rake with all her might. She felt powerful and righteous, believing she was defending her territory. Little did she know, her impulsive reaction would lead to unforeseen consequences that would soon unfold in their quiet suburban neighborhood. With adrenaline coursing through her veins, Karen stood poised, clutching the rake like a knight preparing for battle. As she watched the drone hover above her yard, she felt a strange mix of determination and disbelief at what she was about to do. Just then, several neighbors gathered nearby, drawn by the unusual scene unfolding before them. Curiosity danced in their eyes as they whispered among themselves, unsure of what might happen next. Alex, oblivious to the spectacle around him, was focused on guiding his drone when he suddenly noticed Karen's fierce stance. A knot formed in his stomach as he realized she intended to attack the flying device. With widened eyes and a heart pounding in his ears, he called out, "Wait! Don't do that!" But it was too late. In one swift motion, Karen swung the rake with unexpected force toward the drone. Time seemed to slow as neighbors gasped and Alex's voice froze in horror. The rake connected with the drone, sending it crashing to the ground in a shower of plastic and metal parts. The sound echoed through the quiet neighborhood, leaving everyone stunned by the comical but dramatic takedown that had just unfolded before them. As the drone crashed to the ground, a hush fell over the crowd of neighbors who had gathered to witness the scene. Alex rushed forward, his heart racing with disbelief and worry. When he reached the wreckage, he found the drone damaged but still intact, with its camera lens cracked but not completely broken. The realization hit him hard, all the footage he had captured during his flight was now potentially lost forever. Alex knelt beside the drone, running his fingers over the twisted frame and frayed wires. Frustration bubbled inside him as he recalled the beautiful shots of their neighborhood, the park filled with children playing, families enjoying picnics, and even the stunning view from above. Now, his project was in jeopardy because of Karen's impulsive actions. Feeling a mix of anger and disappointment, Alex turned to look at Karen, who stood a distance away, arms crossed defiantly. Her expression was a mixture of satisfaction and stubbornness, as if she truly believed she had done the right thing. "You didn't have to do that," he exclaimed, his voice cracking slightly. The day's excitement and creativity had turned into a whirlwind of emotions, a confrontation that neither of them had anticipated. As Alex stood by the wreckage of his drone, anger and confusion swirled inside him. He looked up to see Karen striding toward him, her hands on her hips, a look of defiance on her face. "You're the one invading my privacy," she exclaimed, pointing an accusing finger at him. "What gives you the right to fly that thing over my yard?" Taken aback, Alex stammered, "I was just working on a school project. I didn't mean any harm." But Karen's frustration blinded her to his explanation. Instead, she continued to escalate the argument. "Just because you think it's a fun toy doesn't mean you can invade people's personal space. You don't even care about how this affects others." The tension thickened as neighbors watched the confrontation unfold, murmuring among themselves. Alex felt his anger boil over. He couldn't believe she was blaming him without understanding his intent. "You knocked it out of the sky without thinking." "All I wanted was to capture something special for school," he shot back. The two exchanged heated words, each feeling justified in their stance, oblivious to the fact that their argument was escalating into something neither had anticipated, a clash of misunderstandings that would ripple through their community. In the aftermath of the chaotic confrontation, Alex decided to check the drone's camera footage one last time, hoping against hope that something salvageable remained. As he connected the device to his computer, his heart raced with anticipation and dread. When the video started playing, he was shocked by what he saw. The footage clearly captured the entire incident, Karen swinging her rake wildly at the drone while shouting in panic. The camera recorded her frantic movements and exaggerated expressions, painting a picture that was both shocking and slightly comical. It was undeniable evidence of her impulsive reaction, revealing that she had not just acted out of concern but had overreacted without understanding the situation. Alex's eyes widened as he realized that this video could change everything. He quickly called his parents over to show them what he had found. They watched in disbelief, realizing Karen's actions had been caught on camera in a way that could clearly demonstrate her responsibility for the drone's destruction. Armed with this new evidence, Alex felt a surge of confidence and determination. This footage would play a crucial role in addressing the chaos caused by their misunderstanding and might even help resolve the conflict in their community. When Alex showed his parents the footage of Karen swinging the rake at his drone, their expressions shifted from disbelief to concern. They realized the magnitude of what had happened and how this incident had not only damaged Alex's property but also disrupted their peaceful neighborhood. Feeling that Karen's actions were unjust, they discussed the issue seriously. "We need to do something about this," Alex's dad said, frustration evident in his voice. "It's not right for someone to take matters into their own hands like that." His mom nodded in agreement, her face set with determination. They both understood that this was not just about a broken drone, it was about accountability and making sure such incidents didn't happen again. After some discussion, they decided it was time to take legal action against Karen for the damages caused during her impulsive attack on their property. They gathered all necessary evidence, including the drone footage and witness statements from neighbors who had seen everything unfold. Feeling a sense of purpose, they hoped that by standing up for their son, they could restore some peace and order in their community while teaching a lesson about responsibility and respect. In the days following the incident, the neighborhood buzzed with mixed reactions about Karen's dramatic confrontation with Alex's drone. Some neighbors, like Mrs. Thompson, expressed support for Karen, arguing that she had every right to protect her privacy. "We need to be vigilant about these things," she insisted, shaking her head as she recalled the scene. "You never know what someone could be doing with a drone." However, many others were quick to criticize Karen's overreaction. Mr. Harris, a longtime resident known for his laid-back attitude, chimed in during a casual conversation at the local coffee shop. "It's just a kid with a school project. She took it way too far," he said, sharing a laugh with friends. "I mean, who uses a rake to take down a drone?" As conversations spread through the neighborhood, opinions became increasingly polarized. Some residents began to rally behind Alex, emphasizing his innocence and creativity, while others feared that drones could pose a real threat to their safety and privacy. The division created an undercurrent of tension in the community, forcing neighbors to choose sides and leading to heated discussions about the balance between vigilance and reason. The incident not only highlighted differing perspectives but also ignited a deeper conversation about trust and understanding in their once peaceful neighborhood. As tensions continued to rise in the neighborhood, Alex's parents officially filed a lawsuit against Karen for the damages caused to their son's drone. They sought compensation not only for the cost of the drone but also for the emotional distress Alex experienced after the incident. The legal action quickly became a hot topic among residents, igniting passionate discussions about personal responsibility and community safety. In the days that followed, neighbors gathered to voice their opinions, many feeling compelled to take sides. Supporters of Alex argued that Karen's impulsive actions should not go unpunished, emphasizing that accountability was crucial in maintaining a safe environment. "What if she had hurt someone instead?" one neighbor remarked, highlighting the potential dangers of her reaction. Conversely, Karen's supporters maintained that her fears were valid and that the presence of drones could be alarming. "She was just trying to protect her home," said Mrs. Thompson, echoing sentiments shared by others who worried about privacy. As the community grappled with these varying viewpoints, it became clear that this incident would have lasting effects on their relationships. The lawsuit acted as a catalyst for deeper conversations around trust, understanding, and the balance between vigilance and respect for one another's space. As the situation escalated in the neighborhood, the Homeowners Association, HOA, couldn't ignore the rising tensions. With complaints pouring in about Karen's behavior during community meetings and the public debate surrounding her actions, the HOA decided it was time to step in and address the issue. They called for an emergency meeting to discuss the incident and its implications for community safety and relations. At the meeting, HOA officials laid out the expectations for behavior within their community, emphasizing that while vigilance is important, it should not lead to unreasonable actions against neighbors. They expressed concern over how Karen's response had not only damaged property but also created divisions among residents. Alex's parents were invited to share their perspective, along with allegations on how Karen had overstepped boundaries out of fear. As various members spoke up, some defended Karen's right to protect her home, while others criticized her overreaction. The HOA noted that while privacy concerns are valid, confrontations like the one involving Alex could lead to an unsafe environment. Ultimately, they recommended implementing guidelines for the usage of drones and clarified consequences for impulsive actions that disrupt community harmony, hoping to restore peace and support mutual respect among residents. In the wake of the chaotic incident, the Homeowners Association, HOA, faced mounting pressure to take action against Karen for her disruptive behavior. After careful deliberation, they decided that banning her from participating in HOA meetings was necessary to maintain decorum. The decision was not made lightly, but many members supported it, believing that Karen needed to understand the serious consequences of her impulsive actions. At a subsequent meeting, HOA officials announced the ban, emphasizing that while community members are encouraged to voice concerns, such expressions should not manifest in destructive or aggressive behaviors. Karen listened in disbelief as she heard the decision, feeling a mix of anger and humiliation. As someone who had always prided herself on being vigilant, the ban felt like a severe reprimand. Neighbors had mixed reactions to the news. Some felt relieved that accountability was being enforced, while others worried about the conflict escalating further. Those who sided with Karen expressed concern that her rights were being violated. Meanwhile, Alex's supporters felt a sense of justice, believing his parents had taken the right steps for accountability. The ban ultimately served as a stark reminder of how quickly tensions could spiral out of control and how essential community harmony was for everyone involved. The chaotic series of events that unfolded in the neighborhood served as a powerful reminder of how misunderstandings can lead to unexpected turmoil. What began as a simple school project for Alex quickly spiraled into a community-wide conflict, highlighting the significance of communication and understanding among neighbors. Karen's fear-driven reaction to the drone not only damaged property but fractured relationships within the community. In the aftermath, many residents reflected on the importance of open dialogue and empathy. Rather than jumping to conclusions based on assumptions, neighbors recognized the necessity of discussing their concerns directly with one another. This situation encouraged them to think critically about privacy, safety, and the limits of vigilance. As the HOA implemented new guidelines for drone usage, it also sparked a renewed commitment among neighbors to foster a supportive atmosphere. The incident encouraged people to engage more thoughtfully in discussions and strive for resolutions without resorting to impulsive actions. Ultimately, everyone learned that by promoting understanding and compassion, they could work together to create a harmonious living environment that respected each individual's rights while fostering community spirit. It was a valuable lesson on how effective communication can bridge gaps and prevent future conflicts from arising.